Hello YouTube, welcome back. Today we're going to talk about Apple AirTags and Samsung Smart Tags and what the differences are and maybe which is better. So here's the box the AirTags come in. I've already opened it. This is what it looks like minus the holder. The piece that's holding it, the brown piece, that doesn't come with it. You can see the Apple logo in the center, that silver piece. That's the AirTag. It's sort of shaped like a coin. It's thicker. There's no openings. It's like polished metal. It's all nice looking, typical Apple design. Does have one feature that is missing though, that would be important to me, and probably would be to you at some point. But let's talk about, before we get to that, let's talk about how you attach it. The AirTag is just a round piece, like I said, like a coin. There's nothing to attach to your keychain or anything else. So unless you're going to just use it to put into your backpack, and you could just throw it into a backpack or something like that, there's nothing to attach it to your key. So you have to buy something. This is a third-party holder. You can see how it attaches. You just wrap it. It's got a little keychain. Okay. This is like a replica of the official Apple one. The Apple one is $35. Yeah, that's right, $35 more than the AirTag itself. So you're looking at spending, over $70 with tax just to get one AirTag. You can buy them in 3 packs and so forth, but you do need something to hold it. This I bought on Amazon. This is also made of leather, and I believe it was a 4-pack for about $16 or so. Okay, so do the math. 35 times 4. If you got 4 AirTags, that's not too good unless you got a lot of money to spend. And they have other kind, and there's designer ones that you could spend, I think, up to $350 for at Apple. That's just for the holder. So it gets expensive quick. They do have other options, such as I've seen on the Apple Store, Belkin makes one, but I believe that was around $15 for one. And you could buy any number of different options on Amazon. There's all types of holders. There's some that are sticky, and they have a little pouch that the AirTag goes in. This is one that hasn't been used. This is one that came with the pack. That's a piece of foam that goes inside, and then there's a piece of plastic and stuff that goes over. So it's made of leather. It's thick. I kind of recommend that, or using some third party. $35 is an excessive amount. It just seems like a money grab. But it is an Apple. If you're really into Apple stuff and you want that, or you want some designer one and you got the money to spend, there you go. So how does it work? So you get your Apple AirTag. There's a little piece of paper that goes that stops the battery from being discharged. You pull the little tab out, and that activates it. So you go on the Find My app on the iPhone, and it's just very easy to connect. And you can give it a name, give out, AirTag keys for whatever car you have. If you have multiple AirTags, you can make a name and so forth on it. And the way it works is you lose your keys or whatever it is that you have it attached to. Go on the Find My iPhone, Find My, and you'll see it listed, in your devices, AirTag, whatever, your car. You go on there, and there's 2 options. One is a GPS, and one is just to buzz the AirTag itself. So if you hit that, that's what I commonly use. That's what you're mainly going to use. It works on Bluetooth. So as long as you're within Bluetooth range, this will work. You click on the button. It's sort of just like when you Find My iPhone, except the iPhone will ring. This will make a beeping sound. It's not super loud, but it is a weird frequency, so you're probably going to hear it. I've lost my keys a few times now. Once I left it in the garage in the car. You may, excuse me, you may have to move around a little bit because it's within Bluetooth range. If there's an obstruction, that may may hinder it a bit. So you may have to move around, but you can try, you know, hit that little button, beep beep, and then you'll hear it. You'll eventually will find it. It also has a GPS function. And the way that works is you hold your phone, I hit the GPS, and it'll give you turn by turn, meaning it'll have arrows. It'll point you in the direction it goes. It may say, weak signal, try another direction. And, you know, eventually it will get to, where you're going. It'll take you there, it'll say 5 feet. You know, you're within 10 feet, go left, go right. You're there. So that's how that works. But what happens if you have the ear tag and you left it in the store? You're at the mall. You left it on the counter in the store. Okay, and now you're back home. So you're way out of Bluetooth range, obviously. So the way the GPS would work, it works off the network of other Apple products, such as the iPhone. So if there's a lot of iPhones, somebody is near your ear tag, whether they know it or don't know it, anonymously, it will signal to that ear tag, and you'll see it on the GPS. So you left it wherever. It doesn't matter where you left it. As long as somebody's near that ear tag and has an iPhone, it will show you where you left it. So at least you'll have, you know, that general idea. Okay, I left it in the mall. Okay, I left it in the store. I was in that store, and so forth. And then that's how you would track it down. Also, it has like a QR function that if somebody were to find this, it wouldn't matter what type of phone they had. If it was an Android or an Apple phone, they can, assuming that they understood a little technology and they knew that they had this feature, you could scan, you can hold your phone near this, and it will scan, and it can give whatever information you put on it. Okay, call this number, reward, you know, whatever. It'll have your contact information and stuff. So an honest person could get this back to you. Okay, so the main drawback with this is the accessories. You're gonna have to probably buy them third party, unless you don't mind spending that kind of cash. But $35. Yeah, now, so if I have 4 of them, that's $30 or so for the ear tag times 4, then another 35 times 4. It gets to a point, it gets ridiculous, and then you may not want it. So yeah, unless you got a lot of money to burn, go third party. Okay, it is lacking one crucial feature that the Samsung product has. So I'm going to show you the Samsung product now. Again, here's the box it comes in. There's 2 kinds. This is this one is this piece right here. Okay, Samsung makes 2 kinds depending on what type of phone you have. If you have something newer like an S21 Ultra or a Note 20, then you would get the Smart Tag Plus, it's called. That's more money. That's like an extra $10. I think it's $40. These you could get for like $30. It depends where you buy them. Okay, this is the Smart Tag, not the Plus model. So this is what I would use on my Note 10 Plus. Okay, the advantage of Samsung over the Apple AirTag. Okay, this is what it looks like. Now it's a little bit bigger. It's made of plastic. It's not as fancy looking, you know, as Apple. It doesn't have that design. But if you look, you see the little hole at the top. It has an integrated hole that you could put this on your keychain. You don't need anything else. If you're using it on a keychain, you could slide this onto your keychain as is. Okay, you don't have to buy a holder for it. You could buy something like this. I have these. These are just like little covers that you could put over it to protect it. I don't think you really need it, but I bought them anyway just to show you. Okay, they just slides in there. It's got little holes that goes on the keychain. This piece, this little clip, I bought third party. Reason being is when you want to change the batteries on this, the batteries are not rated as high as the Apple. The Apple may go up to a year. Again, everything varies of how you're using it, how many times you used it. These might be 6 months or so, less, more. But typically they're saying it may be a little less, but it does have an extra feature. So the reason for, as I said, the reason for this, the clip that I bought was, so if I have to replace the battery, I don't have to, you know, struggle to get this. Once you can get it on, but you know how they are to get it on and off a keychain. It's kind of a thick plastic. is kind of a nuisance. So if I want to take it on and off, this is the clip to get. Okay, so this works in the same way. You have it on your phone, on your Samsung Smart Things app. You lose your keys. This rings. This will ring. Buzzer. It seems to be a little bit louder, and I haven't tested it myself, but from what I've seen, it seems to have a longer range, or maybe a more optimistic range. Apple doesn't list theirs as a super high range. They both work on Bluetooth. This one maybe seems to give more of a range to it. Now, that said, if you have obstructions in the way, then you're probably going to have to move around with the phone a bit, because obviously it's going to block the signal. And you may have to get to a certain distance where you can hear it. This isn't like it's a phone ring, and this is a beeping sound. So you can hear it. I've lost mine in the house a few times, and I found it. Once it was in the garage. It was inside the car. I found it. It's certainly better than not having anything. And then, as I said, I have had to use it, not as a test, but I actually lost the keys. So the feature it has, the big feature it has that Apple doesn't have, is if you were to look on the center of this, there's a little button. If you click that button twice, it will ring your phone. So I lose my phone just as often as I lose my car keys, probably more. I misplace it all the time. What I end up having to do is get another phone and ring the phone number on the phone I lost to find it. Okay. Now that doesn't always work, because sometimes I'll have it in don't disturb mode. Then you've got a problem, because now the phone isn't going to ring. With this, it's going to ring. So this is a very handy option, not an option, but a feature that the Apple doesn't have. So that's kind of disappointing in Apple. Maybe in version 2.0 they will have it, but this is a killer feature on this, that it's two-way compatible. Now, I told you there was two different kinds. There was the Smart Tag and then the Smart Tag Plus. The difference with the Smart Tag Plus, other than it works on the newer phones, is that's how you get the turn-by-turn GPS. It's like a virtual GPS. It's like looking in your camera display on your phone. Like you have your camera open, and it's going to show you again directions. You're closer. You're 5 feet. It's going to show you arrows and all that. Whereas the Apple does have that feature standard on that ear tag. That's the only ear tag they make, is that just that one, and that feature is standard. That said, between the two features, I'd rather lose that one and have the ability to ring my phone. The GPS also works the same way. It works off the Samsung network of phones. So somebody with a Samsung phone, or maybe even another product like an iPad type thing. I can't think off the top of my head even what it's called right now. I'm drawing a blank, but it will anonymously send a signal to that, and then that's how you would find your phone. But there's more iPhones. The iPhone network would be a larger network. So, but that's how they operate. Or you have to, you could walk around, and you could find it that way. You can just get within Bluetooth range, and you could probably find it that way. So unless you've actually left your phone someplace like in another town, or 20 miles away, that's where you would use the GPS. If you lost it in the house, or where your school, or where you work, or wherever, you could track it down with the just the Bluetooth. Again, these have already saved me a few times. So it's a good product. It could use some improvement on the Apple end. I would like to see a button on this. I mean, I don't know if they would do that, because they're so big on design that they don't like to clutter everything up. And sometimes it seems like they bring products out, but they don't give you everything. They wait and see what people say or what they want, and they have them clamoring to get something, and then there's that excitement. And now if next year they decide to put that button on it, then again, like I said in the previous video, it's wow, look at like as though it's magic, like it's never happened before. And you know, that's the media hype and the marketing behind it. And they keep you, you know, they keep you going. It's like catching a fish, and they're just pulling you in just little by little. You know, they know you want some little feature, and that's how they keep bringing you back into the fold. So both these things work. There are third-party trackers you can buy. The ones I've looked at, their advantage is you can use them cross-platform. So if you're using two different platforms like I use, Android or iOS, they work on either one, but they usually have a subscription. If you want the full feature, like you would get on these on the tags that you can get from the OEM tags, if you want the full features, like maybe a GPS or something on it, then there's subscriptions you have to buy. So there's an ongoing cost with the third-party ones. And personally, I like the fact that that these are integrated into the phone. Okay, even lacking the button on the Apple, it's still better than not have. I'd rather have this than not have it. I know that because I misplaced things enough to know this is invaluable. So I put this on all the stuff that I would normally you know, misplace. And there's different type of holders. You can get sticky ones that have a little pouch, as I may have mentioned, and say a remote control for a TV, something like that. I mean, there's a myriad of uses that you could that you can use these for, and there's all kinds of different holders. I've only looked into the ones that I personally need, but I have browsed and seen there's all sorts of stuff that you can use these for. You know, you can get creative and think about things that you lose most often, and that's how you can decide what to do. But you probably definitely want one on your keys. And maybe you can get even a sticky one, the sticky holder to put on your phone, because that would maybe be better than nothing. But the Samsung, I really like this. It's not as fancy or as nice. I mean, obviously, Apple makes everything like it's artwork. This is very basic plastic, but it works, and that button is really handy. And so, going into either late this year or next year, S22 Ultra will be coming out, or maybe the S22 Note, because now they're talking about they're going to place the S Pen inside that phone. There were so many complaints that the Note line was killed off, and that's a phone I would be interested in. Once you have a Galaxy Note phone, it's really hard to go back. Everything else seems you know, second best after you have that phone. When it's phone, there's so much stuff you can do on it, so much stuff that's like day-to-day task that you can that makes it easier. But that's it with the ear tags. Said I recommend that you get it. They work well. Just, you know, if you're buying the Apple and you don't want to spend the money, look for a third-party one, because if you're going to have 3 or 4 of these, you know, the cost could add up quite a bit. And there's all different holders. Take a good look at them online. See which ones you like. Get a sturdy one. This one, like I said, was made of leather that I bought. This is what it looks like. This one I haven't used yet. So, you know, it seems good. The only thing I'd watch, no matter which one you buy, right where it connects to the keychain. You know, I'd keep an eye on that every so often, because leather, you know, it does dry out and it will rip over time. So that's one thing I don't like about these, that I'm sure, or I'm betting that over time that these will give way and they'll start to rip, and you don't want that and then lose that tag. Whereas this, you know, it's integrated. There's, you know, it's integrated into the to the piece itself. There's a hole to put it on. You could just do it that way and never lose it, or you can get the clip. And there's all different kinds of clips. But that said, I like the sturdiness of this as opposed to this. I may eventually even look for some other type of holder, because I do not trust leather. I've had them before, different things like that, and I've given enough time, you know, in your pocket, pulling and wearing, they do rip. So, you know, be aware of that if you get something like that, is to keep an eye on it. You don't want to lose that ear tag. So that's it. If you're To my old subscribers, thank you for continuing to watch. For my new ones, I picked up a few new subscribers. Thank you so much for subscribing. Like the video, share, and I hope you enjoy it. And I'm going to be back with another video real soon. I may have one on some extra rants that I have on the iPhone. I was thinking of a few things that I didn't mention or I wanted to go into more detail about. So that said, God bless you. Thank you for watching. I hope you continue. Thank you.